Hey everybody, Hardware here, and in this video I am doing a follow-up to the last Proxmox Backup Server video. In that one we were only storing our backups to the local disk, which in my case was actually on my Proxmox host. And if you're doing that, you really need to follow 3-2-1 backup strategy. So we need at least 3 copies of our backup, 2 different mediums, and 1 should be off-site. So in this video, we're going to cover just another medium. We're going to use our USB removable drive to create a data store. And for me specifically, it's a 5 terabyte removable hard drive. You could do this on a thumb drive or something like that. And there's 2 methods to do this, 2 ways of doing it basically. We'll go over it a little bit more in this video, but this is something that you really should be doing no matter how you're running Proxmox Backup Server. But if you are doing it as a VM like I am right here, you're going to want to definitely bare minimum do a USB removable drive plus an offsite. So we just got some simple prerequisites. You should have PBS running. If you don't, you can check out my old the guide I did a couple days ago, and just have some backups. You need some sort of USB drive. This Cloudflare account, that's actually for a future one. I need to remove that out of here. At first, I had all of these backup methods in one guide, and it was just too long. So I split it up. We're going to do a 3-part series. Part 1 is going to be USB removable. Then we're going to do a Proxmox backup server to Proxmox backup server backup. So if you have like another system that you can install PBS on, you can actually back up to another PBS, which is kind of cool. And then the best part, I think the coolest thing is going to be this Cloudflare R2 offsite cloud backup. It's fairly cheap, and if you do it right, it works fantastic. So we'll just kind of cruise through here. As always, this guide is linked in the description of the video, and I cover way more in the guide. I kind of breeze over it because I want to get through the video and make sure I can show you guys all the different steps, and then you can follow the guide if you want to get all the specific details. So as I mentioned, there's 2 methods. One is the leave it plugged in method, where we just set up a daily or weekly sync schedule, and depending on that schedule, it will just sync with your regular backups, and you just leave it in all the time. This is what I think most people do. There's also USB rotation. So if you want to air gap your backups, you're really worried about ransomware or something like that, you can do a USB rotation with run on mount and then unmount when done. So all you have to do is stick in the USB drive, the backups automatically run, they sync, and then when it's done, it just unmounts. So, leave it in for 10 minutes, pull it out. You probably want to check to make sure it's finished, and then you can just pull it out because it'll automatically be unmounted when done. We're going to follow in this guide the leave it plugged in, but I'll show you the setting where you could do the run on mount and unmount when done if you want to go that way. It's not much different. All right, so the first thing, I'm not going to actually go into Termius to do this. Termius is my SSH manager, but you can check to see what your drive is. And I do want to have one more caveat here. Because I have my Proxmox backup server as a VM, I have to pass my USB disk through to it. So we're going to cover that. But if you are running Proxmox backup server on bare metal, you can skip step 2. But this kind of goes along with what we're going to see here. This is why you're going to see SDA here. On my Freddy is my Proxmox host, and you'll see SDA here. But when we mount it to the PBS, you're going to see SDB because it'll be the second disk drive. But anyways, it's always good to just verify and like identify it on your computer, because we are going to be wiping this. So if you choose the wrong drive and you pass it through and you wipe it, that is going to be a bad day. We're going to be doing the opposite of what we want to do, which is make sure our backups are safe and our data is safe. So again, this step 2 is just for if you're running it as a VM, and it is so easy in these later versions of Proxmox. I remember this being way more difficult, but all you have to do is select your VM, go to hardware, click add, USB device, go down to USB vendor device ID. I'm going to choose the Western Digital one. I know that's it. I also have a keyboard here, but we're just going to do this, and we're going to click add. And that's it. If I go into Proxmox Backup Server, I go to Storage and Disks, I can see it's SDB. So we've got the disk in here. Now we need to do two things. First, let's just go ahead and wipe the disk. I like to wipe it. This I think happens automatically, but we're just going to go ahead and wipe it, start fresh, and then we're going to see how it says GPT no. We're going to initialize GPT. And then we are good to go. So it is still unused. What we're going to do is go into directory, create directory. Luckily, it automatically selects that SDB because that's really the only disk we have available. File system, we're going to want ext4, and this is just going to be USB back. I just want to make sure I name it exactly right. USB backup. That way, there's not like a mix-up between the guide and what you see. All right, and we want to add it as a data store. That's just standard, and we want to set it as a removable data store. We'll go ahead and create that. All right, it is done. It does take about 60 seconds or so. I mean, that's for 5 terabytes, kind of depending on what type of disk you have. It could take a little longer or a little shorter. Okay, now that we have that all set up, we got the directory set up, and you can see the great thing is Proxmox automatically uses the by UUID, which should be a static thing that doesn't change. And we're going to go ahead and create the sync job. Now, what we're basically doing is all of our backups will still continue to show up here on our regular backups on the disk, but what we want to do is sync all these backups to our USB backup. So we're not actually going into Freddy, adding another Proxmox backup and setting up a whole nother schedule and everything. No, that's way too complicated. All we need to do is come into here on USB backup. We need to do a sync job, and we're going to pull. So we're going to basically take anything that's on the backups and we're going to sync it to the USB backup. So this is local. We're going to choose backups, which is our primary. Remove vanish. This just clears out any of the pruned stuff that we no longer need. And then hourly doesn't make sense because right now my backups is set to daily. So I'm just going to do daily on this as well. And if you wanted to have it run on mount, you could just set the sync schedule to none and do run on mount and unmount when done. So that'll become available when you check that. But I'm going to leave it in all the time, and I just want it to sync daily. That'll work out perfectly. And one other thing, this will become more important when we get to the Cloudflare backups, but you can do a group filter. So if you're short on space and you want to only select certain containers to sync from your backups, you can add and include here. You can do group, and then you can just select the specific ones that you want. So you can just go through and say, okay, so if I only want 100 and 103, that's good. You add filter, but we're going to do everything. So I'll go ahead and click add, and then we can test it out. So we'll click the job ID and we'll click run now. This does take a few seconds because we're going to back up all 5 containers. All right, about another 60 seconds for that. If you have a lot of containers, it could take quite some time, especially depending on your disk speed. So we got this task okay at the bottom. Everything looks good. We will close out of that. And if we go to the content, we can see if we actually reload, we have all of the containers here. So if you don't see anything, don't panic. You just have to hit reload, and those will all show up here. And that's basically the exact same thing as what you see up here in our regular backups. So at this point, we're good to go. It's really that easy with Proxmox Backup Server, but you did it. But what happens on the day that something breaks? Let's say catastrophe, right? Something happens and you lose your entire disk that Proxmox is on. So you lose all your containers, you lose all your backups, but you have a USB drive, and that wasn't lost by whatever happened that took down your Proxmox host. Well, all I'm going to do, you would have to reinstall Proxmox Backup Server, and you would basically just set up the backup data store just like you typically would. It would be empty. So let's go through the full disaster lifecycle. First thing we're going to do is stop. I'm just going to do one container, Pi-hole, just to kind of show you the process. So we're going to stop it. It's been stopped. Now I can select it and I can remove it. So we're just going to totally destroy this thing. and it's gone. So that's first thing. We no longer have the container. Now, the easiest thing would be to go to PBS, go to backups, sort by ascending here, grab the latest pie hole, and just click restore. Boom, back in business. But PBS also has a failure. So our backups here, we're going to go in and we're just going to right click remove, and we'll do CT/100. Now our backups are gone. So if we come back into here and we click refresh, uh-oh, there are no more Proxmox. We cannot restore it from our PBS. Luckily, we did 3, 2, 1, or well, I guess we did 2, 1 at this point, or actually just 2 because we don't have one offsite. So we've done 2 of the 3, 2, 1. Jump into USB backups here. Actually, we're going to stay on backups. And honestly, we'll just remove all of these. CT 101. Okay, so backups totally fresh. Like let's just pretend we just reinstalled PBS, we just added backups. We would also then have to re-add our USB drive, but luckily we still have all these containers. And when you re-add your USB drive, you don't want to wipe out the disk. So you don't want to do like initialize GPT. You already did that. The disk is already initialized. You never want to wipe this disk when you're connecting it again. You're just going to add that directory, set it as a backup, and this should automatically show up. Now, in backups, we're going to do a one-time sync. So we'll go to sync jobs, we'll go to add, and we're going to do a pull. We're just pulling the data back. You can delete this out. We don't need a schedule because it's only going to run once. Local, we're going to get it from USB backups. You don't even need to check removed vanished because we're doing this just as a one-time backup. Now, if you only need to restore one, you could go in and do a group filter again and just restore the one. If you try and restore containers that already exist, you're going to get an error, but it'll still finish fine. So we'll go ahead and click add. We'll go ahead and click run now, and we're going to let that finish. It's going to sync all those back over. Okay, this finished up here. We can close out. We can go to content, reload, and boom, we are good. Now it's probably a good idea to do like a verify all because, we've done a little bit of like moving the data around. So we'll go ahead and just do a verification job here to make sure everything is still good. Okay, everything is good. We'll go ahead and click X and we can see the verify state is good on all of these. So now if we jump back into Freddy and we do a little refresh here, we can see Pi-hole's back. We can choose the latest version, click restore. We're just going to start it right after restoration. The CT was 100, so we're going to keep it as 100, and we'll just click restore. Okay, we are good to go. We restored. If we come in here and go to the console, we have our Pi-hole. I think maybe the only part that might be a little confusing, because we didn't just start with a fresh PBS. In a real disaster scenario, I should delete PBS and reinstall it, set up the backups, set up the USB backup, and sync it over. If you want to see me do like a full disaster recovery, let me know. I might just do like a dedicated disaster recovery video. It just kind of gets too long to delete out PBS and redo everything. So let me know in the comments if you want me to do like a full disaster recovery, but I believe that will finish it out. Yeah, so there's some troubleshooting. If you run into issues, we got a summary, and then we just go over part 2 and 3, what we're going to cover. I'll add links to those once they're up, but I'm planning to have them up in the next week or so. So hopefully this was helpful. I know backups are it's like the least glamorous thing to do in a home lab, but it's probably one of the most important. So that and monitoring are two big things that I think don't get enough attention. But anyways, I'll see you in the next one where we do a Proxmox Backup Server to Proxmox Backup Server backup, and then part 3 where we do Cloudflare R2.